Lingy, from up here, you feel like the Blues have got the edge, but there's not much in it.
No, not much in it at all, Bruce. And you mentioned Jolly being out of the game. That's allowed Matty Cruiser to completely dominate today. He's had 25 hitouts. He's also had 5 clearances and 5 first possessions. Collingwood have got to do something about negating his influence in the centre bounces. What I'd be trying to do is starting somebody off the back of the square, up on the line, so that long hit, Collingwood can actually shark a few of those long hits. I'd also, just as a bit of a change-up, involves Quinton Lynch. Don't bother going up. Actually try and rove a few of Cruisers. Give Collingwood an extra number on the ground just to limit his influence in those centre bounces where he's been so influential today. And it's up to the big guns now. In a big game, Dane Swan and Scotty Pendlebury have been fairly quiet by their standards. They need to have a huge last quarter to get the Pies over the line.
So we look at Michael Malthouse there.
One of his issues, you know, with Brock McLean, he tends to be a centre square on-baller, and that group's going really well for Carlton. I'm sure they'd like to get his fresh legs on, but it's a question of who would they bring off. Because most of the players that they might well replace, you know, Bootsman maybe, Laidler maybe, Armfield maybe, they're not the kind of positions that McLean plays.
I reckon they could probably go without one of their extra tools at the moment, though, Lee. Maybe Henderson, one of those guys here, and just get another midfield running type player on.
Just looking at these GPS travel, we saw Pendlebury there in 2V, so up to 9.4 and 8.9. Bucks had them in really close there, didn't he, for a moment? Just that last sort of word. Cloak.
They need a goal or 2 from him in this last quarter, don't they? He's been pretty well held this afternoon by Jamison. That's been one of the battles of the afternoon.
Yeah, he's done some things, but you just love him to take 2 marks and kick 2 goals in the last quarter. You've been in that position, Nick. I mean, the big forward, you just want to get one on the board, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Once you get that first one on the board, it's amazing. It just releases the shackles a little bit. He's worked really hard, Clokey. You can't question his work rate. Just like to see Collingwood maybe pass the ball into him a bit more. They've kicked it at him rather than pass it to him.
Swan on the interchange to start the last.
Oh, interesting. The short passes into the forward 50 have generally gone to the smaller guys on the lead, haven't they, so far for Collingwood? Started the final turn. Quinton Lynch. Stern talking to himself, and away we go. Cruiser wins it down again. Murphy a half chance. Judd this time out of the middle. Kicks it down towards half forward. Leading in the race is Robinson. In his hip pocket there. Not doing very much initially, but getting back and taking a wonderful mark was Russell. I saw him take off after the kick, and he marked it. That was terrific. So Lynch to side bottom.
Squares it to Clark. Kicked an important goal, Clark, in that third quarter. That kicks a good one off the boot. Probably showed a little bit too much in the end, and maybe helping his other Irishman, Tui, at the back, building the ball out. But Elliott's been such a good player with these 3 goals. He's given Tui a tough time. You can see the substitute situation. Jolly going off early in the second quarter. Played very little of the match because he sat most of the first out as well. Cruiser getting that tap. And now Lynch just forcing the ball forward. Elliott worked well there on Tui. Laidler's handball was sloppy. Gee, he's good in heavy traffic as Dwyer. And then Pendlebury is so good.
2 Goldsack.
Bootsman was caught there. Goldsack's got the edge and misses.
Jamison was the loose there. He just got sucked right up into the play. He was 30 metres off the back, but was looking for Cloak, and that allowed Goldsack to get goal side of Henderson.
You can see there, boys, Brock McLean's taken the green vest off. He's about to come back on. He's going to provide a bit of run through the middle of the ground. I'll keep you posted on who's coming off.
Jamison, long kick outside the defensive 50. Cruiser tries to direct it down into the path of Murphy, and Murphy ends up with it. Goes back to Bell. Bell under pressure, close to the boundary line. Floats one beyond the wing, out of bounds on the full. 9 points the difference. Early in the final turn. Sellout crowd at the MCG. These old rivals with extra fuel in their belly for this round 2 clash. Here's Blair, who started brilliantly. A heavy knock slowed him down. Told to play on now. Kicks inside the forward 50. Cloak can't get access to the footy. It runs free at the back. Taken by Goldsack. Heard a voice. Tried to go to it. I think it was Cloak who called, but the hand pass well wide of the target, so a boundary throw in.
Again, that kick to Cloak, it's just sat right on his head, so he can't move into it. You'd love to see him put it to his advantage so he can run and launch at the ball.
Lynch and Cruiser. Lynch probably got his hand on it. Bell went back towards Shaw. Pendlebury keeps the ball in. Brilliantly done to Sinclair goal. Thought his way through it, Pendlebury. Just reckon Carlton played that poorly. He went the wrong way and they created a situation.
Looks like it might be Laidler that they're going to take from the ground and substitute.
He's now become something of a spare defender all of a sudden that quarter, the start of this quarter. But yeah, he's just so light on his feet, Pendlebury, isn't he? He just sort of thought his way through, was ready to have that banana kick if he had to, but just thinking on your feet, isn't it? He just knows what plan A is.
And Heath Shaw's tackle so good too, wasn't he?
Ben Sinclair getting his second goal. Over the top cruiser. Not so decisively. With the outside of the boot, Swan sends it still inside the centre square with a quick hands. Dwyer gives it across towards his teammate Blair. He's immediately claimed. Emerging with the football is Armfield. Judd Soccer's off the ground. Stopping it effectively was Johnson. Upended by Simpson. Comes across towards side bottom. That's a clever kick. Under control, he got the ball to O'Brien. Short one towards half forward. And this man has been a revelation. Dwyer turned his man inside out. Goes to Swan. Long ball. And the big guy almost hung on. The little guy gets the crumb and puts it through. That's the spot to be. Well, Blair, he said that hard knock had slowed him down. Well, he may have recovered in the play to start this final term. Cloak almost the mark. It was a terrific effort. Hit the deck and Blair arrived at top pace.
The umpire was going to pay the free kick, but allowed the advantage to Blair.
It's the value of the big guy, Cloak. He was going to get the free kick. Blair takes the advantage, kicks the goal. Collingwood in front for the first time since the 22nd minute mark of the second quarter. So it's been a great comeback by the Pies. Cruiser belting forward. Shaw, so important. What a game he's played. Kicks the ball back in a hurry. Dwyer and Armfield. Armfield trying to turn him around. Kicks a good one. Murphy, one hand. He has to now stop it. O'Brien, Swan. Big mistake by Murphy out there. Swan's kick. Waiting Henderson back to Jamison. Going to be fascinating to see how Carlton handle this now. They've looked like winners most of the day. They trail now. Goldsack caught. Murphy tries to squeeze. Gets a second crack. Well done. Carazzo. Garlett so important here in Yarran today. Garlett quickly onto the boot. Clever. Yarran flew. Couldn't take the mark. And Shaw getting stronger, even though he can hardly walk as the match goes on.
Comes out to Clark then. Listen to this roar at the MCG as Clark carries the ball. Wants the man to come to him, Lucas. Lucas eventually does, but Clark is forced to kick. Elliott does well. Strong hands by the youngster. So Carlton now being challenged. Elliott back towards the 50. Another awkward one for Cloak. Almost reeled it in, Cloak. Gets a hand pass away to side bottom. So busy today. Smothered off the boot by McLean. In goes Jamison. Tackled by side bottom. McLean slips a hand pass away. Gets it back from Carazzo. Goes to Cruiser. Too tall. Cruiser does well. Lays a strong tackle. Goldsack hand passes towards Clark. Clark with the outside of the boot with intent. Goes to Swan. Murphy gets back. Closing is Elliott. Murphy under pressure. This will be an interesting call. No, the pressure sufficient. Collingwood increased their lead by that. Force behind.
Kate Simpson's gone into the forward line and Andrew Walker's gone to play defence. That's how they've reorganised their midfield, Carlton, to get Brock McLean into the group.
So Murphy, Cruiser the target. Lynch, well done. Cloak having a real impact in this last quarter. Lynch down low, gets something on the kick to centre half forward. Armfield, they've got numbers. Walker, they need poise here, Carlton. Back to Walker from Armfield. They're hurrying a bit, the Blues. They're under the pump. Good mark, Casbolt. Haven't seen a lot of him today. You know he can make a contest. Does he make good decisions here? Out wide. McLean, those fresh legs. Well played, Lucas. McLean, back to Lucas. They've been corralled, though. Maxwell did well. Got to work their way through this, Carlton. Back inside Garland. OK, done it well now. Lucas released. Kicks to half forward. Yaron's been so good in the air today. Johnson played him well. Reed sort of lopes after it. Did well. Got it back to Benny Johnson. Johnson's left foot. OK. Handball by Russell. Good. They're building. Clark gets it to Lynch. Back to Clark.
1-3.
They're off again. Well, this guy has been a real factor. He's kicked 3. He's about to kick his 4th. He's had more space than anybody today, and that hurts. Collingwood pinch the break. Well, Tim, you mentioned it before from a stoppage.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's small, but you should still be able to spot him out there.
I mean, they've pushed up Carlton. I mean, they're on the way out attacking, I guess, so the turnover comes the middle of the ground. But either he didn't chase out and got rewarded for not chasing out, or the Carlton defence completely lost
So many of the loose balls now have been picked up by Collingwood. There he is. He's
popping
just
up.
Yep, putting his arm in the air.
Pop-up sprinkler, he did. He just, all of a sudden, he's there.
Carlton players just looking around saying, who is on him?
What a transformation. Looked on their knees at three-quarter time, Collingwood. McCaffer. That's 19 possessions for Lynch. Gets it across to Swan. Swan hooks it out wide. Cloak will need to go here. Jamison held up by Cloak. Nothing doing as far as the free was concerned. Brilliant pick up O'Brien. Oh, bounces off the chest of Elliott. Comes across to Dwyer. Dwyer with the quick hands. Down goes Harry O'Brien. Armfield gets back. Time to regroup. Plenty of numbers around the football for the Blues. Bell kicks it in hope. Needs it to run out of bounds. Will that be deliberate? He's paid it. Swan quickly. McCaffer forward of the wing. Looks inside the forward 50. Can Cloak grab one here? Loose ball at the back of the pack. Boundary throw in.
You just can't keep Dane Swan out of the game, do you? Know at three-quarter time that he's had a quiet first 3 quarters. He started this last quarter on the bench, already up to 6 in this final term.
15 since half-time already.
Rowe.
Oh.
Well done. Is that short? It was. Well, Collingwood have made a massive move here. You know that Carlton are going to get a goal at some stage. So can Collingwood put a space between themselves and Carlton here? They've got all the momentum. The Blues have got to remain poised here. They've played some good footy most of the day. Gibbs' kick's terrible. That's out on the full, I think, against side bottom. So a lucky break here.
I feel like Carlton really need to just control the ball here. They haven't had their hands on it much this quarter.
Been forced to rush a lot, haven't they? Yep. Decision-making not good. That also an ordinary kick. Judd in for shoot. It's been very good, the Judster. Quick kick by Lucas, getting the ball forward, but Collingwood have got numbers.
Lynch over the shoulder, well played by the big guy. Well done by Reed. Turvey. Oh, wonderful smother there by Gibbs. Turvey a second chance. Great tackle by Murphy. Slapping the ball away was Judd. Falling to ground was Blair. Back goes Lynch again. Finds support from Clark. They haven't got a loose man on the outer side, or have they? Yes, they have now as Russell runs to space. They didn't gain an awful lot. Generally very good with his feet, though, Russell, and this is no exception. Had a tough day at the office, but that was a lovely kick to Pendlebury.
McCaffer's free too, Dennis.
Brown. They seem to be the team out on their feet at three-quarter time, but suddenly they've got the edge. McCaffer, as said by Tim, goes down towards half forward. Kick was missed in front down there by Shaw. Cruz has got it now. Gives it to Carazzo. Carazzo on the wing. Hesitates. Spirals one inside the forward 50. This will be interesting. Garlick swings around. Kicks towards a vacant goal square. How will it bounce? Oh, wonderful. Garland's got 3.
Oh, sensational goal, isn't it?
This will be a fantastic angle just to have a look. He just
Outside 50.
just curled her back. Gee, they've been good. Get half a dozen goals out of you, a couple of small forwards, you know, you should be getting close to kicking a winning score, at least a competitive one, which is what they've done.
Well, you knew they'd get a goal at some stage. They've got it at a good stage for them here. This next 5 minutes now, can they wrest the momentum back from Collingwood?
That's where the leaders are so important. Murphy, Gibbs, Judd, all in the midfield. You just feel like when the ball's in their hands, they've got to make good decisions and get the tempo of the game on Carlton's terms. Play it how they want to play it.
Lynch has had 7 touches this quarter, by the way. Collingwood have found a lot, haven't they?
Collingwood have probably got away with one there. The secondary bounce has helped them out. Cade Simpson standing on this wing all by himself. Carlton were screaming to be able to get the ball to him. Collingwood have been able to fix it up.
Well done, Lynch. McLean, the sub. High ball to half forward. Good courage shown there by Brown. Rather Seedsman. Judd. Can he break the tackle? Half broke it. McLean, okay. Bell, Tui. Did well, Tui, because he's off balance, actually. It was a really good effort. Here's Simpson, who Lingy talked about a moment ago. On that left foot. Cruiser forward. Big fly from Brown. Karato couldn't quite get a handle on the footy. High tackle, free kick. Just a bit loose there by Garland. He's played so well. Just in the end, that sort of softish free kick.
Pendlebury coming up to his 20th possession. Needs to be precise, and he is. Jamie Elliott so dangerous this afternoon. His partner in crime, Jared Blair. A little chip. Hasn't this been some performance by Quinton Lynch?
He's lifted this last quarter.
Oh, wow. He's got midfielders figures at the moment. Onto the chest of Cloak.
And Dennis, that's mark number 20 for Collingwood this quarter to 3. They're just running all over the top of the Blues and getting free men.
Not home yet, though, as Cloak drives it long inside the forward 50. Getting a fist on it from behind was Henderson. Comes in front. In real trouble. They're getting the kickoff was Elliott. That was terrific. And Swan takes the diving mark. Getting emotional now. Swan, such a good soldier for Michael Malthouse. Can he deliver a body blow right here? Hasn't been his best day. He's on the clock now. Margin 5 points. This to make it 11. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Right behind Swan. You'd back him in. Cool customer. Kicks the goal.
Yeah, he's had a huge last quarter. Big second half, actually, hasn't he? I mean, his numbers are getting to where you'd expect them yet.
The Smalls have done some damage for Collingwood. In the front half, Blair and also Dwyer and Elliott.
Well, it hasn't been today. The marking forwards haven't been the danger. The danger to the scoring is the small forwards at both ends.
So Carlton now need the next goal desperately. Couple behind, still plenty of time. They'll be so tired, these players.
Collingwood's got a 4-man forward line.
You've got the extra defender as they started off at the start of this quarter.
That worked beautifully for the Blues. Bell got on the end of it from Cruiser. Robinson a high ball. Bit of a wrestle. Reid couldn't quite hang on. Little give by Maxwell was good to Johnson. And then McCaffrey keeps his feet. Well, Tui, unfortunately for Carlton, he lost position to him and then tried to smother it. Now Collingwood all on their own again. Seedsman with a long and poor kick.
Oh dear.
What they did then, Collingwood, they put all their numbers back behind the ball, and then once they broke into space, and Carlton were just too slow to go and pick them up. Walker, who's playing that spare player behind for Carlton, was just too far back when that kick came out of defence from Collingwood too.
Jamison the high ball in towards the outer side. Lynch gives a contest, finds it on the ground, slips a hand pass intended for Swan. Swan still trying to make it his own, gets boot to ball. Skids towards the boundary. Seedsman, normally a good kick, has this ball hard against the line, goes long. Cloak is surrounded, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Butters up again. Is that holding the footy? No.
Spot on with that loose man, Tim. The really good defenders that play as a +1, they know when to sit back and when to provide cover, but they know when to press forward and pick up a player spitting out into a dangerous space.
Thrown up about 25 metres from Collingwood's attacking goal. After it goes Gibbs, trying to lift his team, touches it down the once, runs out of defence, goes for the long kick to space. Who's got the speed? I know who I'm backing. Yaron's got the football as a result. Looks forward, kicks down towards the 50. Up comes Lucas, stretching, juggling, takes the mark. In fact, it's Garlett. Garlett's got the footy, 65 metres out, and he comes back to Davies. Davies just forward of the wing. He's going to kick it inside the 50. target is Rowe. Couldn't hang on. Down in front. Paddling it to his own advantage, McLean. The beard stick together. Comes across towards Garlett from Simpson. Long ball down towards full forward. At the back, Maxwell with discipline.
They'd set themselves up well defensively there. Harry O'Brien's been playing on the wing this afternoon. Actually, he fell in behind where that pack was. So if there was spillage toward the goal, he was going to pick it up and clean it up.
Lynch front spot. Ball comes over the back and a behind. So the crowd today, 84,247 in the top 10 ever for these two in a home and away. So huge response again. Close to 85,000 people here. It's been a magnificent day. It's been so exciting, I think, the whole week in Melbourne with the rivalry and the coaching situation, and the two teams have really honoured the occasion with a magnificent match. So what do we think? I think if I'd asked you at three-quarter time, we probably were going to say Carlton. Do you think Collingwood will win from here, Nick?
Yeah, I think their leaders will get them through. I think they look the more dangerous at the moment. Mind you, the way the game's been going, I'm not prepared to write either team off at this stage.
Simpson to Judd, Reid got him to the back, maybe McLean, and now Blair with a quick kick down the line.
Stretching back, almost taken there by Armand Dwyer. Dropped it, well worked. Walker gave it back to Jamison. Brilliant by the skipper. Murphy found a way through where there was none. Kicks down towards the 50. Thumping it away was Reid. Butters up again does Reid. At close quarters, jams it on the chest of Swan. Ricocheted away. Here's a chance for Johnson. Johnson's kick, a very high one. Simpson has to wait, and he takes the mark.
Gee, finding an avenue to goal's been difficult for Carlton, hasn't it?
Simpson unloads, goes long down towards full forward. Oh, Robbo almost. Couldn't hang on. In trouble, Russell. Did well to Johnson. Then he coughed it up. Gibbs trying to find a path. Gives it across to support. The hand pass from Casbolt. The kick from Tui, is it? Was it Robbo? It was Robbo who kicked it. And he's missed to the right-hand side.
So you can see the Blues have had the ball inside for a while. Good kick out to side bottom. Collingwood have taken so many marks in this final term, as Lingy told us. O'Brien important, as Tim's talked about. And that kick's a beauty. Gives Seaman the run of it. Goldsack to provide a Shepherd. Seaman, not a great handball. It was cut off, though. Well done getting down low. Was Elliott? Was it dropping it? He's had a good match, Elliott, but...
Gee, works hard, Cruiser.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, his tackle was just fantastic for a big bloke, chasing little blokes up and down the ground.
You were impressed then, Nick?
Yeah, that was for a ruckman. You know, he's come from the kick in, chased it all the way down.
There's a poor kick coming out, wonder by Carlton.
They've loaded up their back half, partly to protect themselves with the centre bounces, I reckon, Collingwood, but now it's just a bit of a brick wall. The Carlton don't look like tracking it all of a sudden.
O'Brien drives it inside the 50. Cloak again up, didn't complete the mark. Simpson lurking behind. Bootsma back to Simpson, runs the boundary. Good chase from Goldsack. High ball towards the outer side. Collingwood with the numbers. Arriving quickly, though, the swooper was Armfield. Got boot to ball. Paddling it forward is Lucas. Standing his ground in the opposite direction was Reid. Upended. Taken by Sidebottom. Pulls it back. That was good thinking to the middle. Clark lays it off. Now Shaw assessing the options. That's a tired kick, but a good one. Oh! Bounces off the chest of Blair. Butters up with Murphy. Look at them go. Eventually it spills to Bell. Tries to lay the ball into the path of McLean. Hand passes across to Carazzo. Down towards half forward. Garlett's got it now. Garlett needs a target. Judd offers on the 50. That's ignored. Goes inside the forward 50 onto the chest of the man lurking at the back. It was a slow, casual lead almost. And now Henderson's got the footy. Man on the mark. 40 metres from goal.
It was a great decision there, Garlett. He had the opportunity to just blaze away and bomb it, which they've been doing for the first half of this quarter, but just lower the eyes, pass it in. That's what they're going to do if they're going to score goals.
So Henderson should get the distance. He's generally a powerful kick. But these players are tired. Kick is on the way. It's beautiful. That's a work of art. He puts it through. Three points the difference. Just under 5 minutes remaining.
Just good finish, isn't it?
Yeah, almost back to where we started. After all we've been through, this game still on a knife's edge.
And these centre breaks become even more important.
But as I say, Collingwood is set up almost with the assumption that Carlton are going to win the centre bounce. That's why they're playing the extra man back. So the punch forward is now quite not as effective as it was in the third quarter because Collingwood got an extra number.
The last time they did it, Bill actually got the ball. He belted it forward and Bill came off the square.
No, Carlton have pushed another player forward, so it's now equal numbers at least, 7 versus 7 in the Carlton forward half.
And boys, Carlton have sent Judd and Murphy both to the bench. I'm sure that'll only be for a minute. Just freshen their guns up, get them back out there for the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Cruiser got over the top. Here's Bell again. Robinson was so good there. McLean, well done though. Side bottom in the right spot. Getting the ball back for Collingwood. Cloak's work rate's been really impressive. Well done. He got it off Jamison. Gets a good kick on it. Oh, gee. It was a chance in the run. There's Dad looking on and picks himself up. He looks a bit sore, very sore, and hitting that post. Jamison. Low kick. Rowe the target. Worked underneath by Reed. Side bottoms handball. In a contest. Cloak so brave, so good. McCaffer. Tuvey, I should say, on the right side. Good kick. And Elliott has been, well, he's been maybe a match winner, to be honest.
Called it Bruce. Cloak then was terrific for a big man to get that low and hard.
And he was hurting too, wasn't he?
He's had 9 marks out. I mean, he's basically been leading into the ball quite really well as a forward. He's crumbed a few, but he's actually presented himself as a target.
Well, it's a small career so far, but a building when he'd never kicked more than 3 before today. A chance to get a handful for the first time. It's a good kick. It's a great kick. He's kicked 5 and he might be the difference. Ironical too, because we felt that Garlett and Yarran were the 2 guys that might have. In the end, it's another small forward for the opposition.
Well, he's got 5. Amazing, isn't it, really? Blair's got 2. You have a look down. Sinclair's got 2. And down the other end, Garlett 3 and Yarran 3.
Walker 3.
Yep. At least he's marked them, I guess, Nick. That's the only difference. Well, the others have marked them too, I guess. But he's a bit taller, Walker, but the others are very much ground level.
That was heroic by that man. Hurt in the previous battle. Got to his feet, was hobbling, and suddenly had to go. Just had to go. Threw the body in. And the result was a goal. This last quarter made for heroes. It's been that sort of game. The thump goes down towards half forward, not to be unexpected. An opportunity for Carlton. Plenty of footballers around the ball. Emerging with it, Armfield goes out wide to Lucas. And that's the danger. You're trying to build attacks from half back, aren't you?
I reckon Cruiser's just forgot about the ground level players. Just thumped the ball to centre half forward. That's how clearly he's dominating those aerial centre bounces.
And they've got the numbers down there now, Carlton. They're evened up the numbers, but it just means that there's a lot more space at the other end of the ground too.
Kane Lucas then, the boy from East Fremantle, sends it on its way. It's working back, touch right on the line, or was it? I don't think so. It's a goal. Half a metre over the line. 4 points the difference. 3 minutes to play at the MCG.
Gee, I tell you what, the umpire nearly called that bounce back. I mean, it favoured Cruz. He's getting them anyway.
Yeah.
So you just feel he's at odds on to build the ball as far as he can again here, isn't he?
I reckon that's what everyone on the ground would be expecting. And frankly, I know you might try and give it to a ground level, but if you can get a clear punch on the footy, it's such an offensive movement out of the centre bounce.
So you can see, good goal post cam and a great shot. So
how important is this now? You've got Carazzo, Judd, and also Gibbs in there for Carlton. There's Pendlebury, Swan and Sidebottom.
Magpies by 4 points. Carlton coming again, rallying. 1 down by Lynch. Stolen by Judd. At least initially he had the ball. Gets a hand pass away under pressure. Great pressure applied by Lynch. Simpson gives it to Davies. Davies the high ball inside the forward 50. Could have almost been a free kick to Casbolt. Loose at the back. Down goes Johnson. Clattering in was Yarran. And a boundary throw in. 2:40 remaining.
And straight away, all the Collingwood players start heading down there. They're going to aim to get a heap of numbers around this contest and just try and bottle it up.
It's a long time to be bottling up, though, isn't it?
2.5 minutes.
Cruiser. Judd tried to bash through. Maxwell got it from Dwyer. So Armfield and O'Brien, a couple of speedsters. In the back. Well, not in the back. Wow, I thought Brown just pushed him, and then the kick forward. Can Collingwood get it over the back? Goldsack, we know, is quick. Oh, just too strong there. Cleverly done, and you know who's on the end of this.
You know, Rootsma then, I was just watching him closely. When you go in this game, and it's critical as a young player, when you go, you've got to go.
Or not?
Yeah,
well, that's in the back.
I think that is in the back. The umpire was in the centre of the ground, didn't see it. So very unlucky, I would have thought then, Armfield. But yeah, Bootsman left his opponent to come over and help in the contest, but didn't get involved in the contest.
Well, Mickey decided not to play Diagon today, so he went later and kept Bootsma in. But I mean, Elliott, well, what a remarkable match this youngster's had. 5 goals he's kicked. Has it got the legs? Not quite. So Carlton have still got a chance. They can still win the game.
Well, I'm surprised Jamison's not kicking this one in, because he's been kicking some torps during the NAB Cup right down the centre.
Walker to himself, takes off, runs to the back pocket, kicks outside the defensive 50. Cruiser had it knocked away there by Shaw. Murphy a half chance. Carrazzo falling to the ground, gave it to Judd. 5 points the difference. Collingwood in front. Lynch against the flow, went to the ground. Carrazzo dives in, and the umpire will ball it up just outside the 50. Clock stops at 1:13. Just moments ago his eyes were at half-mast, but he's found some new blood. Mick, new lease of life. That kick from Elliott didn't go far enough, but Shaw kicks in short as well. Not his intention, just a tired kick. Elliott still figures in the finish. He gives it to Sidebottom, and Sidebottom kicks the goal. Hard to get back from here.
Gee, don't they make a roar, the Collingwood crowd, when they look like they've got the goal that might win them the game. There's probably about 80,000 or maybe 70, to be honest. 70,000 here today because it's Collingwood's home ground, and that's an example.
Gee, Elliott's, what a game he's played, Elliott.
He's been super, hasn't he?
Well, he's best man on the ground now.
Absolutely, yeah. He's the one who's played above what anyone would have expected coming in.
What that will do for his confidence for the rest of the season, to play so well in a big game like this at the MCG in front of 85,000.
He's had 12 scoring involvements for Collingwood today, Elliott. So one little roll of the dice for Carlton. They just walk the tightrope here. They need a quick ball out of the centre. They're not going to get it. Sidebottom pokes it forward. Davies getting back against the flow. Carrazzo, handballed it to Pendlebury, and now Pendlebury off 50. Well, there you go. That's a full stop on this match.
Nice way to celebrate your 150th, eh?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the last two, all of a sudden Quentin Lynch has found some energy and has actually jumped into Cruiser and sort of nullified that ruckus tendency. Collingwood have taken the ball away easily twice.
He's had 9.
He must have been saving himself for the last 5 minutes.
9 touches in the last quarter, Lynch.
No, I'm just talking about, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But more the way Lynch attacked Cruiser's body in the centre, about set up the chance for Pendlebury to take it forward.
That's a great celebration too.
We talk about how dominant Cruiser's been in the game, but Cruiser's had 13 touches compared to Lynch's 23. I think we probably underestimate Lynch up until this last quarter.
Only 2 other Collingwood players have had more possessions than Lynch. Beaten again by Cruiser. Soundly thrashed by his immediate opponent, but he gets the ball forward again. It's been some sort of a game. Hard to analyse. Blair goes after it, lays it off to McCaffer. Inside the forward 50. Academic now, lurking at the back of the Packers goal sack to Sinclair. Sinclair just has to do better when he sees the goals. This one straight up in the air. Wow. I was going to say that wasn't 15. Lucas took the mark.
So the dying seconds of what's been a magnificent match, and Collingwood will win. It's Bucks over Mickey, the first of many big clashes, you'd reckon. Great game. Grandstand finish, but Collingwood getting away right on the death. Down to you, Cameron.
50,000 people, 5 goals against the old foe. How good was that?
It was the best. Like, all the boys played their role, and
Mate, great effort. Well done. You must have enjoyed it, I'm sure. Go and enjoy it with the boys. Great stuff. Well done, bud.
They kicked 7 goals, 5 in the last quarter, Collingwood.
Yeah, it's a big return, isn't it? We spoke about the game opening up. Probably thought it was going to open up the other way, didn't we? Heading into three-quarter time.
Swanee lifted in the second half. Had 26 disposals in the end. As much as anybody else on the ground.
Yeah, well, it's 17 after half time. I think that's the pretty good thing. But they just started to surge the ball. That loading up from defence worked for Collingwood. It gave them the ability to sort of surge out of the half-back line and meant that they also, particularly when Carlton sent their other man forward, then it had a really open Collingwood forward line for the last 10 minutes of the game, and they made advantage of it.
Isn't it great when somebody comes to your club and he has a big game like Lynch did today? I mean, we talk so much about him, but suddenly the faithful love him, and he's part of the fabric now, isn't he, after 2 games?
Well, you wonder whether or not I'm just trying to think of who he replaced from last year. Chris Dawes would have been able to perform those heroic deeds that Lynch was able to this afternoon. He was just outstanding.
Brown's play on Armfield was a big one, and there is Quinton Lynch in the front and centre. So what a game, man. Carlton got the early goals through Walker, Yaron, and also Garlett was so dominant early, and Collingwood just willed their way back. They're going to be a hard team to beat this year, aren't they, the Pies?
12 goals in the second half. They were strong the second half, weren't they? Really strong.
Well, we talk a lot about Collingwood versus Carlton. We've talked a lot about Bucks versus Mickey. Well, today it delivered. It was a great day at the MCG.